Hi everyone, I just wanted an opportunity to go over the assessment 2, the textbook analysis assignment, as you might have some questions about that. Basically, in a nutshell, the purpose of this assignment is to give you an opportunity to apply what you know about language and linguistics by examining and analyzing the language patterns of a textbook that you will work with and use with your linguistically and culturally diverse learners in your real classroom. Okay, so the actual text, although it does say textbook, that's kind of broadly defined. So your textbook could be a math textbook or a science textbook, and you can get those here at WU or from your Western Oregon professors or from teacher friends. Or you can actually work with a young adult novel or a piece of children's literature. Okay, so that's what I mean by text. So let's go through this particular part of the assignment, which is you're going to start by describing, I'll move down a little bit here on the assignment to do two things at one time. You're going to start by reading the article that's going to give you some background on how to go about a textbook analysis. Okay, and that's available on Moodle. Okay, this is this article by Reagan. It's a little bit of a dated article, but it really gets to the heart of how you go about doing a textbook analysis. That hasn't changed. Okay, and then tell us a little bit about your class, who you're going to be working with. Okay, if you're an actual in-service teacher, tell us about the class that you're working with now. Tell us about their English language development levels. Tell us about their particular and socio-emotional needs that they may have. Tell us a little bit about the content area that you're teaching and whatever you're addressing. So everything that we have to know about why you're choosing this particular text. And then, as I mentioned, choose a text that you're going to use with your actual learners. Okay, and then look over the textbook. If you are using a traditional textbook like a math book, just choose one chapter to focus on. If you're going to use a young adult novel, just again, pick one chapter and maybe even the first 50 or 100 words to give you enough data for you to apply your linguistic analysis. Okay, so the first step that you go through is you locate the main ideas and the learning objectives. That's easier in a textbook because that's usually particularly stated. If you're using a young adult novel or a children's literature book, you have to tell me what's the context for you're using that book. What are you trying to teach in terms of learning objectives, which would be aligned to state or content area benchmarks and standards? And what is the language objective? Is there something particular that you're a form or function that you're trying to explicitly support your learners with? It's very broad, but you could be exploring narrative forms and functions. You could be looking at descriptive language, etc. All right. Then, after you've started to look at this text through a language lens, start to think what might be difficult for emergent bilinguals, particularly those who are at a beginning or an entering or just developing, English language development level. What patterns of language are sticking out? Now, a lot of the text that we work with our beginning level students, and it's a grade level text, a lot of the language might be new for them. And that's okay. You'll just want to hone in on something that comes up frequently within the text in terms of language that you want to be able to work with. Look at aspects of syntax, that the grammar, word order, etc., morphology, how words can be divided into chunks, what is the roots of those words, phonology, sounds, any kind of linguistically complex patterns that are coming out over and over again. You have had time during this course to be able to go a little bit deeper into learning about those language patterns. This is your opportunity to show me what you know about that. Okay? And then you're going to decide, after you've done that analysis, you can't teach everything all at once. We know that. So focus on one thing that's going beyond vocabulary. Think about those language patterns. That's syntax or an aspect of morphology or phonology, or maybe pragmatics, could be a number of things that you want to give explicit instruction about. Okay? So, give us an introduction where you have your hypothetical class. Include the analysis chart just like it's laid out in the Reagan article. And then for each step, include a description and explanation of your analysis. So it should be about 2 or 3 paragraphs for each step. Your scoring guide is available here to give you a little bit more guidance as to what you are expected to do. The scoring guide, I'm not asking you to score yourself. Nope, that's not what I'm doing. I'm asking you, in other words, you're not grading yourself. Sometimes students think, oh, what am I, giving myself a grade? That's not what the point of the scoring guide is. That'd be cool, right? But no. What you're doing is just using that scoring guide to be able to, as its name suggests, guide your understanding of the assignment. And then, make sure you include that at the, I would include that, just cut and paste it and put it at the end, if you could. That would be helpful. All right. Thank you. Let me know if you have any other particular questions. I'm usually pretty open to whatever text you choose, as long as it's something you're invested in learning more about. You want to be able to apply. The text is not as important to me as actually seeing you apply your knowledge, your developing knowledge of linguistics and language in this assignment. So thanks a million. Talk to you soon.